Hi, today we discuss about business process modeling in MBA operation management. So business process modeling gives an organization a simple way to understand and optimize workflow by creating data driven visual presentation of key business processes. So most enterprises have a pretty good idea of the various business processes powering their daily operation in organizations. So however, when they need to ensure that those processes consistently drive optimal outcomes, a pretty good idea isn't enough. So, if an organization wants research and development investments to produce sufficient returns, IT issues resolved with minimum downtime, or a highly accurate lead qualifications workflow in organizations. So it need to understand these processes on an objective and comprehensive level. So even the business users directly involved in these processes may lack total transparency into exactly what happened at every step of the way. So business analysis or analysts can gain end-to-end views of the business process life cycle through business processes modeling. So a business process management BPM technique that create data driven visualizations of workflow. So these process models help organizations document workflow, surface key metrics, pinpoint potential problems, and intelligently automate processes in organizations. Now we discuss about in details what is business process modeling in organizations in MBA operation management. So a business process model is a graphical representations of a business process of workflow and its related sub processes. So process modeling generates comprehensive quantitative activities, diagrams, and flowcharts containing critical insights into the functioning of a given process, including the following. Now we discuss about in details. Number one, events and activities that occurs within a workflow in organizations. Who owns or initiates those events and activities? Decision points and the different paths workflow can based on their outcomes also. Devices involved in the processes, timelines of the overall processes and each step in the process, success and failures rates of the process. Now, key aspects of the business process modeling in organizations. So, process modeling are not made manually. Rather, they are produced data mining algorithm that use the data contained within event logs to contrast models of the workflow as they exist. Because process modelings are based on quantitative data, they offer genuinely objective views of workflow as they exist in practice, including key data, metrics, or even that may have otherwise gone unnoticed. For example, by creating a model of its new account creation process, a software company might discover that a significant number of customers are abandoning the sign up process because it takes too long. So, a model could even help the company pinpoint the exact stage at which these drop offs occurs in organizations. Now, process models are typically rendered using one of two standardized styles of graphical business processes notifications also. So, business process modeling notifications, also called business process model and notifications or unified modeling language, that is UML, Within this notification system, certain visual elements have universally recognized meanings when used in process modeling. Whether an organization use UML, that is Unified Modeling Language Diagram, or BPMN, that is Business Process Modeling Notification Diagram. These standardized notification methodologies allow process models to be easily shared and read by anyone in organizations. So, arrow represents sequence flows, diamonds represents decision points or gateways, ovals represents beginning and end points of processes, rectangles represents specific activities within a workflow, and swimlines are used to identify who owns which components of a process. Now, business process models should not be confused with process maps, rather common type of business process diagram. Process maps are based on employee reports in organizations, are created manually and provide higher level views of workflow. So process models are data driven deep dives that represents or presents more objective view of workflows. So now how business process models are made in organizations. Now we discuss about this. To fully understand business process modeling techniques, one must first understand the relevant business process modeling tools, that is event logs and process mining. Most enterprise IT systems mainly event logs. These event logs are digital records that automatically track state changes and activities, that is event within the system. So anything that happens within a system can be an event. The following are some common examples now I given right now. So a user login, a user updates a record, a user submits a form, information is transferred between systems. So event logs track both the occurrence of events and informations surrounding these events, like the device performing an activity and how long the activity takes. So event logs act as the input during the production of process modeling also. So process mining is the application of the data mining algorithm to all these events log data. The algorithm identifies trends in the data and uses the results of its analysis to generate a visual representation of the processes flow within the system. So the visual representations is the process model. Depending on the process targeted for modeling, process mining algorithms can be applied to a single system, so multiple system or entire technological ecosystems and departments also. Now business processes modeling use cases. So process modelings offer unprecedented levels of transparency into company workflow, so making them a key business process management tool. While process model can be leveraged in any scenario that requires analyzing business processes. So these are some of the most common use cases. Gaining 360-degree insight into processes. Now we discuss about this, about 360-degree insight process. A single process model can contain a wealth of workflow data, allowing team members to analyze a workflow from multiple perspectives. Business analytics often use business process modeling to zero in on the following workflow components in particular. Number one, control flow. Control flow refers to the order in which steps and commands are executed within a process. A process model depicts a flowchart of a given process so that a team can clearly see what steps are taken, and when this perspective also helps the team identify any dependencies between steps. Number two, organizations. A process model can capture who is involved in process, including people, team, system, and devices, and how they interact with each other in organizations. This perspective illuminates the connection between people and system that form the organizational social network. So in this way, a process model offers insight into how various components of a business functions together. Now time, it's most important. A process model can record how long a process takes overall and how long the step takes, allowing the team to identify delays. So slow down and bottlenecks within the workflow also. Now case, a process model can offer a general view of how a given workflow typically plans out, or it can reflect a particular case or instance of a workflow. Teams often use these case perspectively to analyze anomalous processes outcomes. For example, if a specific instance of workflow results in lower than live average outcome quality, teams can isolate exactly what went wrong in organizations. Now, optimizing and standardizing processes. So, process model accurately reflect existing workflow inefficiencies, making it easier to identify opportunities for process optimization. So, once workflow have been optimized, businesses can use process modeling to standardize workflow across the entire enterprise. So the model acts as a template for how processes should play out, ensuring that every team and employee approach the same process in the same way. This leads to more predictable workflow and outcomes overall. So, assessing new processes in organizations. So, process modeling can take the guesswork out of implementation and evaluation new business processes by creating a model of a new process. So, business users can get a real time look at how that workflow is performing, allowing team to make adjustments as necessary to achieve process optimizations in organizations. Now, analyzing resource uses. So, process models can help companies track whether money and resources investments produced suitable returns. For example, by creating a model of the standard sales processes, and organizations can see how sales representatives are utilizing the tools and systems at their disposal. It may return out that a certain tool is used much less frequently than anticipated, in which case the organizations can choose to disinvest from the tools and spend that money on a solution the sales team actually uses in organizations. Now, communicating processes. Process models transform complex processes into concrete image, making it easier to disseminate and discuss processes throughout the organizations. For example, if one department has a particularly efficient process for troubleshooting technical problems, the business can create a model of this process to guide implementation of an organization's wide scale. Now, the benefit of business process modeling. So, business process modeling arms an enterprise with objective business intelligence that supports more informed decisions for resource allocation. So, process improvement and overall business strategy within a clear view of processes. Enterprise team can ensure that workflow always drive the desired results also. So, as a result, operating costs are lower, revenue is higher, and business outcomes are stronger in organizations. Now, specifically, business process modeling allows companies to do the followings. Now, we discuss about details. Access and utilize quantitative process data. So, without a process model, teams are limited to discussing and analyzing workflow in qualitative, qualitative and subjective terms. As a result, teams may not accurately understand their workflow. They may make business decisions based on misunderstanding, assumptions, and or incomplete knowledge. With process modeling, teams have access to quantitative workflow data including success rates, error rates, allowing for a more rigorous analysis of business processes. Now, streamline and accelerate process automation. So, before a process can be automated, an organization needs a clear understanding of how that process plays out in reality, including the business logic un- underpinning each decision points. So a process model illuminates both the way workflow unfold and the relationship between events, actor, tools, and systems within the between processes. This viewpoint helps a team document the process itself and be business rules that guide its executions. The information makes it easier to effectively automate workflows the first time in organizations. Now keep operation costs down. So process models provide organizations with an easy way to identify opportunities to optimize existing processes. So this makes it easier for the company to ensure that processes consistently produce the desired outcomes. So as a result, business processes requires less investment to maintain and generate positive outcomes at a lower cost in organization. Now business process modeling in detail. So process modeling forms a cornerstone of any automations effort or business process management initiatives. Without comprehensive views of existing processes and their guarding business logic, enterprises cannot effectively optimize and automate workflow at scale. So uh, that's the video, my friends, according business process and modeling in operation management. So I request you, if you like my blogs, please subscribe, like, and comments on my video. Thanks a lot for watching.